Hello everyone, I'm Faral Imran and today I'll be telling you what is the fastest way to learn web development in 2024. In addition, I'll be telling some of the mistakes, the common mistakes that beginner people do. So they might be like in between the video or at the end of the video. So watch it till the end so that you can see that which of the mistakes that you might have and avoid it at all costs so that it does not slow your web development journey. So let's get started. So, what is web development? Web development is basically just making of websites. Okay. Now, what are websites? Like, seriously, what are websites? Okay. Now, if you see, for example, if you see the Google search engine or if you see the YouTube, whatever website you see, those are websites, those are made. You can see there are buttons in it, there are like videos in it, some has the images, some has the search bar, so you search in it. So all these are websites and they're doing the proper work. They have the layout of it, they have the new design on it, and they make changes in it. And then when you click on the button, it goes you go to another page, so it goes to another page. So let me tell you more about it when we go further in this video. Okay, so web development has two types. It has the front end and the back end. So these are the two types of the web development. Now, what is front end? Now, front end is the page that the user can see and interact with. Now, let me give you an example of a hotel. So in a hotel, when you see or when you go for the hotel, you start doing the check-in, like you ask them for a room if it's available or not. So you go to the front desk. See, because it's in front of you, you go to the front desk and there the receptionist, they ask you like if like what type of room do you want, or how, or like for example if you want like with a window or with a balcony or not, or it has a good view or not. So they ask you these things and you tell them, yeah, I want this room or not. And then what happens, they give you the key. So what is happening in front of you, that is the front end. Means you're seeing them and then you're interacting with them, so that is front end. So that how front end works in web development. Now even if you see, like if you see this page, the Google page, if you see this, it has a search bar, it has the theme, uh, like behind it. If you see the theme of it, and you can add the shortcuts to it, you can search it. So now all of this is front end, because whatever is here and the theme is here, you can see some link is here, and here you can customize it. This button is there, and here there's a shortcut button, here is a text that adds shortcut, and here you can see there's this is the search bar, and here you can like click on it. Or here this is the Google camera, like from camera you can search it, and this is like for the voice input, so there's a button to it. So all these things are front end. So what is happening in front of you, that is front end. But now when I click on this, or when I click for example add shortcut, I'll add the name, and then when it will be done, so that is the backend. So what is happening behind it, the functions behind it, that is the backend. Now if I type that Canva, for example, if I type Canva, now this whole thing that happened, it took you to another page. And when after that, when I clicked on the search button, and the behind the scene whatever functions that happen, so that is the back end. Now let me tell you about the front end technologies now that you have to learn. Now the front end technologies that you have to learn, so the first is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, which is the basic ones. And there's also one mistake that you guys do, or it's commonly, not only you guys, everyone does, even I did the mistake as that. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, because it's one of the easiest and most popular frameworks and languages, because you don't have to just stick to the basics. So there's the one mistake that you do, is that is just sticking to the big basics, and you keep on learning, so it will slow your journey. So you're just sticking on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and just you keep on learning, and then what happens is that it slows your journey, because just sticking to the basics won't get you anywhere. So you need to learn the advanced concepts also. So that is learn React with it too. So that this mistake I have done also. I just stick to the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then when I searched it, it said that this is not enough to get a job. You need to learn the advanced concept. Some people learn Angular, some people learn Vue.js. I go for React because it's one of the most popular ones. Okay, so what is backend? Backend is the behind the scene work which I told you already about. I'll be telling you about it now more, because backend is the behind the scene work. So whatever is happening, so when you click the button and then whatever functions is happening behind the scene, so that is backend. So let me show you about it. Okay, so in the backend is that whatever is happening behind the scene, that is backend. Now if I wrote here Canva and I search it, so you see that whatever behind the coming means this web page will come or that. Now when I click on this, so now when it, between the clicking of the button and the appearing of the back page, whatever the work is happening, whatever work is happening behind, so that is backend. So if you see here, now this, even this, it took you to another web page. Now not only Canva, you can go to any other, so because if you're interested in it. And if I say, for example, what should I say? Yeah, is okay, is Canva free? For example, if I'm saying, so is Canva free? So whatever is happening here, it will give you according to it. This is just for Google. You can go to Gmail, you can go to Maps. So all this is happening behind the scene. That is backend. And if we take the example of the hotel service, so in the hotel service, now whatever people when you were seeing, those were the front end. Now backend is that behind the scene, what is happening is that the people, they're taking your information, for example your information, and then according to that information, it will, of course, what will happen when you tell the information that I want this room, that room. Nowadays people do it online, like you already booked the room and then you just have to pay for it. So you ask them, they take your information according to it, and then they will check whether this kind of room is available or not. So this functioning is happening. If it's available, so they'll give you the key and they'll say, this sir, this is available, sir or ma'am, this is available. But if it's not available, they'll say it's not available, sorry, we don't have this kind of room, you can take some other room, we have these recommendations. So these things are backend. So because there's some functioning behind it, they're doing. Even if you see, even if you see the chefs, for example, if you go for the hotel buffet system, in the hotel buffet, what happens is that some chefs are there to take your order. Like for example, now the chefs are the behind the scene works, means they take your order and then they prepare the order according to your needs. Now waiters are the front end, because they, you interacted with them and then you told them that I want this and that, or whatever type of food do you want. Then they go to the chef and they tell them this is the order for this person. Now the chefs will prepare according to it and then give it to the waiter, and then the waiter will give it to you. So now, so if you see that the chefs are the backend, because they're preparing the food for you according to your needs. So the backend, whatever functioning is happening according to your needs, so that is backend. And now not just backend, inside that their database. Now for example, they took your information, now they'll store it somewhere. Of course database is needed, so database is needed to store it. So I'll tell you which database you can learn it. So database is also needed, even APIs are needed. So for example, APIs are needed to get the information or to post the information, like from the database to the backend to the database. So through API you can send the information to it. So API is like more of, you can say, a path, or it's a way of communication. So that is API. And let me show you the backend technologies that you have to learn or you want to learn. Okay, so the backend technologies that you have to learn is, as you already know, JavaScript. So JavaScript, as I already told you, in front end you have to learn. So Node.js and Express.js, they are the types in which you can add the APIs to it, or of course, so you can learn the backend technologies and APIs and Mongoose. Mongoose is a type of database that you learn. So in order you can connect it to the database, and then from the backend you can send it to or store the information in the database. For example, if it's a hospital system or whatever system it is, so through database you can store the information. So let me tell you more about Mongoose. So Mongoose is a type of database which is designed to work in an asynchronous environment. And here you can see, if you to get started, you can download it using npm. You can download it using npm mongoose. It's the type of a package, and here then you can make the database according to it. You connect it, and then you can keep on updating the information if you want. So this is mongoose, and how it's connected to the it's like connected to the database, and it is different from SQL because it has the NoSQL structure. Now I'll be telling you about the other mistakes which I said at the start of the video, which are the common and you have to avoid it at all costs. So number one is that not practicing at all. So for example, if you're doing a project and you keep on watching tutorials and tutorials, but you're not practicing it. So you're not practicing the code, or you're not practicing or not making any projects. So that is your number one mistake, because it's not something you have to memorize it. So that brings to the mistake number two, which is trying to memorize code. As a beginner, I myself have made this mistake in trying to memorize code. I used to watch tutorials like such as HTML, CSS, JavaScript tutorials, and then what I used to do, I used to write it in a paper and then memorize it, like the tags and things and stuff like that, which was the biggest mistake for me, and it slowed down my web development journey. So the third is the full stack trap, which I myself also got into this trap, which was the full stack trap. So for getting a job, it's not important that you have to go for full stack. And let me tell you about full stack. Full stack developer is a person that can do front end and back end. So he can do both. But for getting a job, you don't need to go for full stack. I'm not saying that don't go for full stack, but like if you want to get your first job or something like that, you can either go for front end or back end. No need to go for full stack, like learn everything. And then like you can strengthen or improve in it. Whether you're in front end, you can improve it, and whether you're in back end, you can improve it, because there are jobs, like if you look around, or in your regions, if you look around it, there are jobs like related to front end. There are other jobs, and even back end there are other jobs. So no need to go for full stack. So don't go to this trap. So the fourth is giving up. Never ever give up, because that's is a problem, that if that is the thing, that you're not trusting the process. See, you're watching tutorials, you get an errors, you try to solve this error, then you get another errors, then you solve those. It keeps on happening. At the end, sometimes it happens, you get frustrated so much that you just start giving up. So don't ever give up. So if you want to improve in this field, don't ever give up. Just keep on improving it, because this is something through practice that you will be like amazing in it and better in it. So that is all from my side. Thank you so much.